Q show. Now you know.
Ha ha! It's Lil Mo in the building. Boom bam. Boom bam.
Let me give this thing some flair.
Yeah. Give us some Lil Mo love. Give us some.
There you go.
There
Give
you
it some
go.
warmth.
Give me some glow.
Close that door.
Yeah.
My lips look extremely big
No,
today.
they look exactly what people pay to get. Okay.
Hello. And these Jones is for free. I ain't got pass me my lip gloss right there.
Yes. Can I have some lip gloss? Can I have some of that lip gloss?
Man, this is I threw on a lash. My son laughing. I just got it, man.
Wait, which one is the one laughing? Is it Justin?
Your middle name
My 5 year.
Karen.
Let it go. Tui.
Hmm?
She said he's asking me. So let me just tell you this right quick.
Okay.
Because I had to go to the motor vehicle. So I'm up there thinking, oh, okay, they set my appointment for 5:15. I'm like, cool. That's what time they close. I'm gonna be in and out. I felt like, remember when Martin went to the NBA?
Yes.
Like, R-E-S-B-C. They know me up in here. I say, what's up? Hey man, sit your ass down. They ain't know me up in there. Plus we gotta wear masks.
We didn't call you yet.
Man, then we get in there and Tui, my 5-year-old, he's like, Mom, what's your middle name? I said, I'm not gonna tell you because you're gonna laugh. So he sees it on the screen. He said, Mom, your middle name is
Karen.
Karen? You're a Karen?
He got joked.
Like for days.
Karen. You are a Karen.
Yeah, but I'm one of the good ones. Hello, Karenisha. I'm about to change my middle name. Periods.
Karenisha with a Bible and a hymn.
And I'm in Baltimore, so it's Kernisha. Her.
That's before I got off this live. I was gonna be like, "Can you teach me how to speak Baltimore?"
Oh yeah, because it's honestly the language and the dialect and the rhetoric in Baltimore has garnered its own life. I didn't really realize how much the accent is, how thick it really is for the U sound until I listen back. Because I don't hear it until I listen back or I hear other people, and I'm like, oh, I get it, because I sort of think that Hulu.
And I don't understand because you have lived multiple places. Uh-oh. I see it going. Come on, connection. Come on, Maryland connection. Lil Mo frozen. Come on, quit. She freezing on my end. She hilarious. I'm having so much fun in this interview. Mo, you just going in a circle. You frozen. Okay, you going to come back in. She is gorgeous. Look at all Mo's fans. Yes. Okay. All right. Here she come back. She back. Yeah, you back. I was like, you just froze on us with the whole backstory to.
Yeah, I ain't know what the heck just happened. I'm just
good.
talking away and it cut off.
Yeah,
See?
I was like, but listen, it could have been an ad for some beautiful lip gloss though. The way it froze, yeah.
Purr.
Yeah.
It could be called Purr.
I
Big
love
Purr.
it.
Since that's all everybody talk about, Big Purr. Lady Eloise. No.
Yeah. I see why you was on the radio. You so freaking funny. Oh my God. Listen, I gotta give you a proper intro because excuse me. Oh, let me try to do the Baltimore. Excuse
me. If you think I sound like it, my kids, I can hear it with them. I'll be like, oh my God, y'all not even from the city and y'all accent thick. My daughter, oh my God.
It's in them, huh?
Yeah, it's just in them.
But I'm just saying, you've lived all over the place. Why did this accent stick? Not Texas, not Long Island, not Carolina.
Because I've been out here the longest. We moved out here in 1999. So
okay.
Yeah,
That's
everywhere
right.
else we was like in Texas for like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. Atlanta, 2 years. Everything was like a 2 year. North Carolina was the longest. We was there from we was there for about 5 years. And then after that, this was the final place. Yeah.
Now wonder. Because I'm like, you sound like you got roots here. You know, you are from here. Well, I mean, you a legend, so let me give you a proper intro. Proper intro. Yo, welcome to Studio Q. I'm your host, Quencie Thomas, and today I am blessed and highly favored to have an R&B legend in the building. She's snapping at her kids because she's a multitasker.
He asked me, "Mom, can I stay in here?" I said, "You have to be quiet. Have a seat. I don't let nobody in here but the dog."
But listen,
she lays.
He learning though.
No, he's about to start doing flips, and he's really about to get a whooping on live. Don't play with me. Because he going to kick my light over. It ain't even because he jumping around. It's because he going to kick my light over, and then it's going to be looking, I'm going to be looking like I'm in the purge. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, you know, R&B legend, like, you know, Aretha was a mama, Whitney was a mama. You still a mama.
It just seems like my kids be cutting up more than the average celebrity kids.
But listen,
like,
that's because of you. That's because of you. They vibe off of you. They from you.
Yeah, he think it's a game. He was cutting up in the NBA too, child. Let's just go on with this interview because now he's showing out. He's really showing out.
Well, listen, Mo. I mean, I know that you're an R&B legend. You didn't, you know, 20 years. I think you said 21 years. This would be you as Little Mo professionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've been in the game forever. You didn't did features. You didn't did features. You done forgot.
Yeah, it's that deep. Like if I don't look at my ASCAP list or discography, I was like, oh shoot, I forgot I did that song with what's her name. Right. You feel me? Yes. That's how long the list was, or like how long I've been in the game. Hold on one second. If I tell you again, that's it. That's it.
That's going viral.
That's what. Because first it started out as a joke. Now it's like, yeah. Now I'm not playing.
And
he knows when I
now
go to that. Now he
gonna want to leave. Now he gonna want to leave.
Yeah, go ahead, step out. Cause I already know it's gonna be. He knows better. Like I don't play that.
I can tell.
Bye.
I can tell. That light switch.
Yeah. He knows the vibes, and he's the good one. So he knows like, oh man, I must really be in trouble because he knows. I don't even have to do nothing. All I got to do, hey.
Yeah. And he only 5, so that means you real good.
Yeah.
He's real good.
But he's actually, like, he was so good today.
Oh.
But, you know, he just showed out because he heard, like, he must see, like, oh, I want to be, he thinks this is TV.
Yeah.
So he's showing out.
Yeah, and he's so cute.
And y'all really was about to see me show. That's why I was just like, Lord, Mama. I don't got time today. Hello.
Well, listen, I am obsessed and in love with Broken Heart. Like that song.
Thank you.
I mean, oh my God. Like it's because you are somebody who could be, you know, a 6 Clark member sister or a third whining
sister.
A who?
A Pace sister.
Yeah, oh, that the Pace. Okay, she didn't took it over there too. Okay, the Pace.
Or LaShawn.
Yes.
That's a piece of journey. Like people better not sleep on the Pace sisters because everybody wanted to be them, even the Clark sisters.
Yeah, the Clark sisters.
You know, the Clark sisters wound up going more mainstream. It's crazy because.
Do you think it was from that song, that one song that you know you bought the sunshine? Because that, I mean, it seemed like that just blew them up. It
was just honestly, you know what? The only thing I can say is whoever's meant to go to that level, it's really, it can't be just because it's all, because oh Lord, I'm up here cursing about the chicken. Milli Vanilli made it, oh girl, you know it's true. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you're meant to make it, or, you know, if it's just, you know, people gravitate to what they want. But like, there's a lot of people who are my favorites that I feel like will sing everybody under the bus, but they never became famous. And to this day, sitting down, flat foot, just going clean in. Every time I see Donnie McClurkin, I always tell him there was a lady in his choir, like for back in the day, because that's the part of Long Island I'm from. My church, Donnie McClurkin's church, used to fellowship a lot. So the singers that used to sing with him, like crazy. Timothy Figueroa from Hezekiah Walker's, Anisha Figueroa. Come on now. Like, if we're gonna do some homework, Sheila Lakin from my Uncle John P. Keys choir. Come on. Modulate eight times higher. What? People like, if you want me to talk about singers who gonna run it, I'm gonna tell you some people that to this day still is stolen.
Man, but to me, that also helps make you the bomb. Like, you know what I'm saying? You were gifted, but you also know who is like slaying, and you taking in that as well. You know, great singers listen to great singers. You know what I mean?
That's what we glean from, and we learn from. A lot of people, you know, they like, I come, the cloth that I'm cut from, and the music that I grew up on, like, I had no choice but to sing the way I do. I literally was talking to Todd Tribbett today, who's a great singer, arranger, plays every instrument, and we was just like, yo, the time we came up in, we're so glad for that time period that we came up in, because you really had to work for everything. Yeah. You really had to sing. When they would pass that mic around, you had to be on go. It don't matter if it was 12, 21, 31, 41, 51. If Twinkie or somebody, if John called you up, go.
It was, yes. And that, because the mic is still hot from the last person, so you can't do nothing but at least keep it warm.
That's why I'd be like, call on me first so I can get it out the way.
Please, Mo.
Let me go first so I can get it out the way. And they be like, are you kidding me?
You be singing circles around people. I know what you're talking about.
I be wanting to hear people sing, because then, like, you know, because you know one thing about singing is once it's your go, whoever go before you, you got to kill that.
Yes!
You know what I'm saying? The competition, so you should see what they used to be making me battle. And everybody.
But but they know that you could. They know that you could. You look, they would have took the mic and did it over you, okay? Based on the singers you talking about. So please, you be in the right room.
My squall, because one thing I could know, everybody should be like, Patti LaBelle even asked me one time. She asked me and Fantasia, how do y'all know how to do that thing with y'all voice, that squall? I was like, church. You had no, once you go like quartet, once you go like this, it's a rap. You can do all the ad-libs, all the acrobats, all the modulations, but as soon as you grab that in, because everybody can't squall and then sing after.
No, they can't.
We teaching up in here today.
But you do. And what I love it is you do it in hip-hop rap songs. Okay?
I do. That's one thing I always honestly wanted to do. First, I used to call it R&G, rhythm and gospel, or hip-hop and R&G, hip-hop, rhythm and gospel, because I felt like I always, like, listening back, I was like, oh my God, I was so churchy, ta-da. Like, I
love that.
Twanda Clark, Twinkie, Wanda, and Shonda. Like, you couldn't tell me I wasn't a Cleasy.
But that's why I wanted to bring up all of the gymnastics that your voice can do, is because in this particular song, you don't have all of that going on. At all.
And I'm glad you noticed it. It's just straight tone.
Yes.
Just straight tone.
What?
You know what?
She's not even going in. But I'm like, where is my lighter?
We'll save the going in. I realized this is what my son told me, my 12-year-old, part of Generation Z. And this is one of the jewels I always drop to seasoned artists. People already know I can sing. People already know I'm on go. People already know what I can do. Even if you be like, I already know Mo gonna go, woo, 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 woo. You feel me? I have my signatures that people are accustomed to.
Yep.
Those have already been done. My son literally told me, and my manager Wu literally told me, you ain't got to do all that no more. You've proven your point. Now come back for your respect. So we'll save that for the live show, rolling all around, hollering all over the place, squalling. You know what I'm saying? When you really get into it, because one of the verses I was watching, I forgot who it was that said they worked with Brandy, when she said she worked with Babyface. And she said, like, you know, when you're working with certain people, you might feel intimidated because you're like, oh my God, they done hit records and songs for everybody, what I'm supposed to do. So you start doing vocal acrobats because you think that's what they want you to get. And she said, Babyface told her, just let the song breathe. Basically, let the song sing itself. Once you get them words out there, it's not what you say or what you do, it's how you make people feel. So people will hear the words when you do less, because they'll be able to translate, because your average listener can't sing like the person that they listen to. Your average singer can, you know what I'm saying?
Amen, Lil Mo, because don't think I didn't try to join in with the song. Don't think you didn't make us feel like we can sing too, okay?
But that's honestly why I kept it cute. So everybody can be like, I can sing along with this, and you can feel like you me, because when people be trying to sing, woo woo, put it on me, and they be like, where?
You be like, no.
No, you know what I love? I love when people. This is how people save it, right? This is how they save their face with me too, and I be cracking up because I love it so much, and they know I do. People will always send me. They was like, "This is my favorite song in the whole wide world. I know I don't sound like you, but in the shower you can't tell me I'm not you." And they'll sing forever, and they be like, when you be like, "Baby, I'm at the point in my life." When people be singing it, but they know they don't sound like me, but they be like, "You cannot tell me I was not you in the 10th grade."
And them lyrics, because that song is like the perfect wedding song. I saw you sang at somebody's wedding recently, singing that song. Beautiful. And
the last one, I ain't did no wedding. It was a panini outside, so I done miss.
I know outside been closed, but it was on YouTube. It was beautiful. I forgot it was some celebrity's mom. You got married or somebody, and you sang it, and I was like, this is what I love about real singers. They always sound even better live. Like Lil Mo on record, bomb. Lil Mo live, a complete different experience.
Thank you.
But one that you like, I want this one too. You know what I'm saying? I want this one too. And it's two different ones, but it's still equally as good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can't get all the Lil Mo just on the record.
That's
you
what it was.
Jacquees.
I was waiting for somebody. Jacquees' mom wedding. I sang Forever at her wedding. I was just surprised.
Yes, Jacquees. Yes.
Because I was like, who wedding mother? I sang it because I know that I did it for Porsche. I sang it for Portia. It like so many. I was like, y'all ain't tired of this song. They be like, no, girl.
No.
So anytime somebody has an event and I pop out, the whole place goes crazy. I'll be like, y'all act like y'all ain't just see me the other day at Target.
That's
see me at Target, but when I come out Forever, it changed the whole dynamic.
Ma'am, when you put a mic, who cares? Ma'am, when you go get that mic, because timeless never expires. Timeless music never expires. And then for somebody who can sing the same way 20 years later, hello.
Yeah, and I've been through a lot. So like, I think I sound better now than I did when I first came out. You know why? Because even though I had the vocal training, not formally, but just like singing with my uncle and just making sure that I kept my instrument together and, you know, just a lot of things. Childbirth takes a toll. People don't understand childbirth takes a heavy toll on your vocal cords. And keeping up with your ENT, your ear, nose, and throat. I never knew that. Like for years, I would be like, why every time I'm about to do a show, it feels like I'm about to lose my voice. And I didn't realize sometimes that's why I usually travel a day before, because traveling, when your ears get clogged, it messes up everything. Your throat be all wrong. And I'm like, oh no.
And that's what I want to ask you. Like, what is Lil Mo's artistic process? Like when because you always been on the road, but like, I want to know, because, you know, you're a great singer, but I know you do stuff. You do stuff to sound. So give us like, when Mo goes to the studio, what it got to be like for you to deliver? When Mo's on the road, what it got to be like? When Mo write a hit record or verse, are you grabbing a notebook? Are you singing it on your phone? Let us know.
No notebook. I ain't wrote a lyric down this whole time I've been Lil Mo. If we did, the only time we write lyrics down is once the song is complete. You have to turn on the lyrics, because then people make lyrics. You just always want the right words to be out there. But other than that, we don't write anything down. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. The only, or if you go, even old sessions, people like, the only notebook I had was when I would write, and I started that, and I got that from Missy. She would write down how many notes she was gonna do. So when we did Hot Boys, she was do 5 on the main, 5 of the heart. You know what I'm saying? We used to do like 30 backgrounds. And then I'd be like, oh, they gonna fly the vocals? No, I want you to sing it all the way down. Got you.
Wow.
So our work ethic and process was one that a lot of people, I realized, and I'm so glad that technology has changed. You don't have to really do as much anymore. But honestly, if you want it to be effective, it's good to switch it up each chorus. Even though there's so many technological, digitally advanced vocal cleaner-uppers, where we used to have to literally sing it over and over and over till they got it right. Period.
Wow.
There was no vocal alarm. There was nothing where you could just cut it right there and pick up from right there. We used to have to start all over. So much has changed. But one thing about me that has never changed is the only time you'll see me with a notebook is if I'm like, what's the word? If like somebody I'm working with be like, say this, so they'll know what the words are, or to turn it into the admin company, or to write down. All right, on the main note, I'll check off. I'll be like, go back to the second one. I want to clean that one up. But I like sometimes I like the feel of it, but I want to stack that one. So it's my own mathematical lyrical system I came up with that I've been rocking with for years. So you'll see a bill here, a phone bill, and on the back of it be like, I want to get the second ad lib on the third verse over.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Like, see, you just revealing your genius right now.
Yeah.
When I interviewed Faith, I had asked her, like, how does she?
Her.
I know, like, and y'all some singing people, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you and Kelly Price are, because I love voices to be loving each other. So I'm glad y'all back as well. But I was asking her like about her process too, and she said she had to learn something so when she got on she wouldn't sound like she was underwater or something when she was on stage. So how do you get prepared for, like you said, I'm thinking I'm gonna lose my voice. How do you prepare for the stage to keep Lil Mo sounding like Lil Mo, going from city to city to city?
That's a good question. Honestly, now with phones, you can check the weather. So you already know that, all right, if I got to do a show here and it's chances of rain, the humidity might dry my vocal cords, or it may moisten it, or it may take my whole voice away. So what I'm going to do is the night before, after, if I had to do something the night before, I'm not going to talk for this amount of hours, but I'm not going to be totally silent, and I'm not going to whisper, because people think, oh, I got to sing like that takes more out of your voice than singing actually. So I learned just different techniques from, like, honestly, different singers and people. I don't sing with in-ears. It's something about my claustrophobia that I can't sing with them things in my ear. I don't be wanting to hear myself. Honestly, all I want to do is be able to hear myself in the mic enough so I can make sure that I'm on key. I don't want to hear myself sing. That's why people like, how do you? I be like, turn the music up. They be like, don't you? No, I don't want to hear me all the time. I want to hear the music. I want to feel the music, because that's when I get into it. But it's something about in-ears, and I know that might be what Faith is talking about. A lot of people wear them, but it's just like sometimes if one thing go wrong in them things, I'll be like, I remember I had someone, I had just got on tour and I was hyped up. I was like, yes, it made me feel like a celebrity. And I had put them in my ears, and that first night, that thing said squeak because it was on the wrong frequency. I threw that thing on so fast. I'm like, get this thing out of here. It made me go like this. But I also learned to like drink warm, not super hot, because then I have a vibrato, so I don't want it to be like, no. I want it to be, like, I want to be able to control it. So, room temperature water. If you drink too cold of a water, people are like, let me get some ice water. I said, you about to preach, because you surely ain't about to sing, because your vibrato gonna be dry. You're gonna shock your vocal cords. And the way I learned that is because my godfather in North Carolina, he's a preacher, but he always sings, and his organist goes in. So he was like, give me room temperature water before I go minister for the people, because I don't want my vibrato to be shaky, and I don't want it to be stiff. Like when I say, people like, because I don't want to sound tacky. Ooh, that's just tacky.
I mean, but look, he know his gift. He know what he needs.
He know his limits, and he know his strengths, and that's one thing about me. So I know that drinking room temperature water. I don't drink soda anymore. Now, you know what I do drink to trick my mind to make it think it's a soda? I love sparkling waters. And those are because they don't have no calories. It's the sugar that's in the soda. Like, sugar will tear you up. It'll tear your skin up. It'll tear your throat up. It'll tear your hips up. Everything will be all over the place. So, honestly, you have to, your intake, whatever you're taking in, even to the air you breathe, whoever you're around, you got to make sure that it's conducive to what's going to get the best sound out of your instrument. Because just like a trumpet, a saxophone, or anything else, you have to keep it well oiled. So it's you just have to make sure that you're doing the right thing. I used to take Benadryl a lot because that would help dry me up. So if I'm traveling and I start, like, I'll have post-nasal drip, but then my ENT said stop doing that. He told me stop cleaning he said, you clean your ears with Q-tips, don't you? I said, yeah. Why? How you could tell? He told me, I mean, this is my job, but he said, don't do that. That's the worst thing you could ever do if you're a singer.
Wow.
So digging, you mess it up. And you know, you be wanting to get it. You like, I gotta get that one last piece. Leave that one last piece alone.
And you never had like polyps or anything on your
And
vocal?
nope, never. I don't have anything. The only thing he said I may have, but it's not even severe, because from years of listen, like, he's like, do you ever hear a ringing noise in your ear? And I'm like, yeah, all the time. He was like, from years of listening to loud music and probably squalling, it's like it causes, it's like a not a friction, but it causes like some tension. So there's ways they can heal, but I'm like, no, I want you to be done cut, and then you be done cut something I can't hear, and I'll be singing off key. Then everybody be clowning me. Then I have to go and just play the banjo in a quartet.
I mean, like, I just really appreciate you giving all the gems to your process, because I don't think people realize, you know what I mean? Like, you're a vocal powerhouse. So to be going from city to city and drop, like, to be able to sound good all the time, that's a real skill. Just
honestly be an artist. People, because what's crazy is more than half of the time is business rather than it is more than it is singing. So to maintain that sound, even when you got to do like interviews and you know, you have to, like, I know how to, if I had a show today, see, I'm excited now, I'm hyped up because like today was a good day. Like, for real, I had a really great day. One thing I gotta say is like, I'm just glad everything is up from here on out. But if I had to sing, say like, what is it, 7:45 here, 8, what time is it, y'all, 6:45?
Yeah.
Like, so if I had to sing like around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever, I would change. I know how to change the inflection in my voice. So you can hear the excitement in my voice, right?
Yeah,
so, like, I know how to change, but I would probably be like, so probably, I know how to just lower the tone. So when I have to, like, it's just working on your reg, so I can use my lower register and I talk with a lower tone. But when my kids get on there, I'll be like, okay, now. You feel me?
Yeah. And I think I remember
it's that tone.
Yeah, and I remember Faye saying the exact same thing that you did. She had to learn how she could not speak before shows because
you'll be hyped up and then you'll be done, get out there and be like,
that's exactly what she said.
This mic ain't working.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all.
And listen, before I get into a few of the lyrics of this song, I found out through a Whitney fan that you sang on Oh Yes. You sang the backgrounds to Oh Yes.
Yeah, and I vocals produced it. That's when I stood in the booth with Whitney. I've seen her many times after that.
Lil Mo, that's me and Whitney. That was my very first interview on MTV Fanatic, so I'm a huge fan. Give us a Whitney story.
Man, well, shoot, I have a lot of them. Because once I met her, it was like, yes, that's my sister, auntie sister, that she's like the auntie slash sir slash, you know what I'm saying, that you always wanted. So, honestly, when I first sang for Missy, I believe I sang Saving All My Love for You. And then when she would bring everybody around, she would say, sing that Whitney song. So Whitney was my talent show audition song. Saving All My Love for You.
You better sing a little bit. You better just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit that you sang for Nip.
I'll sing a measure of it.
Just a measure.
A few stolen moments is all that we share. You got a family and they need you there. Though I've tried to resist being last on your list.
Sing, Mo.
But no other man's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you. So basically, what he was saying, I know you got somebody at home, and I know what's up in the stock, but period, I'm saving all this for daddy.
Wow! Oh my God. What was Whitney's reaction? What was Missy's reaction?
So Missy she always loved the way I sang.
Of course.
So I didn't know Whitney was going to be there. She would just say, come to the studio tonight at whatever time. So I'm sitting there and she was like, hey, come in for a minute, because they must have been telling her that Whitney was about to, come in the session. So I'm sitting there and she was like, hey, Mo, sing that song. So I started singing, and all of a sudden I turn around and Whitney Houston standing there.
Wow.
Priceless. That don't stop there. So then Missy was like, yeah, so this is a song Mo referenced. And Whitney was like, oh, yeah. I know Mo voice. I'll be turning on the radio and I say, is that Mo? Is that Mo? So she had heard stuff I had done. I'm like, no way. Yeah. Whitney Houston did not hear my voice.
No.
The reason why I started singing secular music was because of her.
If you're a real singer, which you are,
she gonna listen.
She gonna know you.
She gonna listen. So she was like, all right, go in there. She was like, come. She told me to come in the booth with her at the Hit Factory and show me how you did that. Do what you did right there. And I was like, my throat was drying up because I was nervous. And she said, and gave me a fisherman's friend.
What?
to make my throat warm up. And I was shaking the whole time.
Oh my God.
But her and Faith are like BFFs because, you know, they both from Brick City. They both from Newark. So then
Yep.
once like anytime she had something and I was in New York then, like, I'll be like, Whitney Houston is freaking here.
Yes.
She is my Michael Jackson.
Mine
She's
too.
the GOAT. Yeah.
Oh my God. And the fact that I was like, in the 20 years that Lil Mo been out here, I know she done met Whitney. I know she done. And you done vocal arranged the whole song.
Yeah. And I was scared. And stood in the booth and she sang the whole lead. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. Like, those kind of memories are priceless, because I'm just glad that Whitney, you know, like, I'm glad that she took the song, but Missy trusted me enough to even have me reference it and then go in there and vocal produce it and then kept some of my vocals on it. Like, I used to just go and Missy was like, well, here's the reference to the song. Now you sing it, because I don't know who I'm gonna give it to, but this song about to go out today. And literally, like, she would write the song, say like on a Monday, by Friday, we'd be in the studio recording that joint. Once they get that paper, she played no games. I used to vocal produce so many people, Tamar Braxton. Like, she had me working.
You were working.
Gerald Levert, Keith Sweat. It was like so
and
many
listen to these are all singers, okay?
Yeah.
Tamar goes, like, wow. And you, okay, no, I need you to, go ahead, Mo.
Yeah.
Mo, you had several jobs. You had several jobs in addition to being an artist. Yes, you were a Jamaican, for real, for real.
Yeah. Well, we got needs, so I'm definitely West Indian.
Well, this song, seriously, when I tell you I didn't have it on repeat, Broken Heart is so beautiful. And it, you know, and I feel like, you know, it, because you've been very transparent, it illustrates some of the stuff that you went through. So where have you gone to mend your broken heart, Lil Mo? Like, where is Cynthia gone to get some healing? I want to know.
The motor vehicles, because I got my birth name back. Shondo. No, but yeah.
For real?
Yeah, that's what I had. People like, well, what you was doing up there? Because, period, Cynthia Loving is back.
Awesome. And that's such a beautiful name. Love it.
I mended my broken heart when I found my peace within myself, when I stopped going to war with everybody else, because I respect the fact that my sanity, my humility, my integrity, my health is my wealth. Nothing is up for debate no more. I'm not compromising anything to satisfy anyone else. I found the real love and the greatest love of all inside of me. So you have to be broken down to build up, because once that foundation is shaky or rocky or it's not on solid ground, that building or whatever you trying to level up to is not going to stand. That thing going to come right down. So I realized I had to start back from the ground up. So it's honestly like I'm a whole new artist starting from scratch. Yeah. But not saying that my songs weren't truthful before, but I know everybody loves the songs that I've been on and the Superwomans, the Forevers, because to this day, like, people are still booked. Like, I be getting a bag to go to a piece of Forever. And I'd be like, why don't y'all just play me? Like, no, we just want to have you there. So, okay.
Yeah.
Say less.
Because you can't, because you can't tell other people what that means to them. You know,
exactly, absolutely right. And then there's a lot of people, they'll reach out to my manager, be like, well, how much y'all charge? He was like, it's not about how much it charged. This experience will be priceless. Trust me, this footage will never go. So you can look down and be like, yo, we really had more. They be like, all right, well, who we make the check out to? You feel me?
Look, I love you got people around you who know your work. That's awesome.
You know what? And when you have a solid team around you that's not trying to be you or not trying to belittle you, and they let you be you, and they want to see the best of you, and they feel and realize that the best of you hasn't even been shared to the world. Yeah. So it's just like, if y'all thought the first 21 years was lit, give me another 21 more. Watch me run it up. Yeah, so got some in me. That's what I was talking about today. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna be saving Superwoman until I'm 60 some, and my knees might give out, but I'm
hey, do you not hear Al singing? Let's stay together. Come listen. We want that. You have classics that you've made yourself. Like that's a huge, honor. What did it feel like for you to be around people in an environment and in relationships that was below your raising? Below your raising. You come from a very strong father, mother, married for 40 plus years. You were raised in the church. You're close to to your siblings.
Yeah.
You love your children. You love God. So when you find yourself beneath your raising, how long does it take to first acknowledge that, hey, this doesn't fit, and then what is the path to getting back to where you're starting now, your foundation?
Well, this is a discussion I've had, and this is one, like, I literally have realized that you never feel comfortable. You know when something ain't right because the way you was raised. Because you're like, wait, my daddy ain't never called my mama a bitch. I ain't never seen them fight. I ain't never seen my dad hit. I ain't never seen my parents drink. I ain't never heard them curse. I ain't never seen, like, it's certain things I've never seen. The most I've seen, and everybody used to call us, like, they said we was corny, or they used to call us the fake ass Cosbys, because they was like, oh my God, y'all family is so perfect. I'm like, no, we're really not. Every family has issues, but at the same time, our last name is Loving, so that was our foundation. That's what we were built off of. I remember my parents used to have this little thing. My grandmother used to give my mother a bag of clothes, and my mother she ain't like those clothes.
That's what I want to ask you. Did anybody ever win the dress game? Ever? Tell them what the dress game is.
The dress game was like, my grandma would give my mama all these. I miss my grandma. My grandma would give my mother all these ugly clothes. She'd be like, your mother knows I'm not gonna wear this. She just tried. My mother from the South Bronx, so she have no chill, no filter. She don't curse, but she be like, she knows I don't wear these frocks. You know, like them moo-moos.
Yes.
Like, nah, we litty over here. So my grandma would be like, I have a bag of clothes for you. And she knows she didn't mean no harm, but she was like, you know, you'll take me, like, thank you, and get home. So my dad was like, they used to play a game. Whoever could get the ugly dress on the other person had to wear it to church on that Sunday. My mother was determined, with the determination of Jonah in the belly of the whale. You ain't getting this dress on me because I ain't wearing it to church on Sunday. No. So we used to be like, Mommy, don't like I just remember that. And then, like, our family we really had family day. We really had to, on Monday, my dad would give us a book to read. By Friday, we used to have to write a report. He taught us how to debate. That's why nobody's arguing me down. If I be like, you got it, that means I still got more ammo, but I'm going to let you live. Because before I behead you. My dad taught me all that, but my mom taught me how to be, don't play. You feel me? Yes. Like, the seriousness and the sternness comes from my mom, the leniency and the empathy, but the please don't play come from my dad. So I had that perfect balance. So when I realized I wasn't getting that or reciprocated, you know, it's just like, oh, okay, well, maybe opposites attract. You know, you can't always try to find your daddy in every man, and you can't try to be your mother to these niggas that's just grew like. Yeah. So it's just, one thing about me is I have no problem with getting married, and I damn sure ain't got no problem with getting a divorce. But it comes to a point in life where you just like, I'm not going to keep on playing with covenant. I'm not going to keep on making promises to God. Yeah. And we know, like, this thing ain't equally yoked. So for that, I'm just like, I did things at a young age. I call that living my best life. Like, you see everybody out here, I never was the one that just, like, you know, dated and had fun and lived my life. I literally, because of my church, I bring like, oh, I got to get married because I don't want to go to hell. And I don't want my children. Well, all along, I should have just really just followed my own mind. But
no, you wouldn't have this. No, you wouldn't have had this testimony. There was things that you were
you're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. So I did all the right things with the wrong people for the semi reasons, but it was my own volition. That's why I don't have no problem taking accountability. We're like, yeah, I accepted it, I allowed it, but at the end of the day, it stops here. And I realized I had to get myself together because I wasn't going out like something being weird.
I want to know, since you came from the loving family, like, I want to know what your mama and your daddy and your siblings was saying about you not being happy or in a space, because you're going through it, but they're watching somebody they love go through something that they didn't nourish. They didn't water that. Yeah.
My family really don't be getting involved unless I call or if I need my dad, like, come get me. It was never a situation where, like, people are great actors. It'll be one thing in front of the family, or if people need something, it'll be one thing. But at the end of the day, Like niggas be acting weird and wild. And it would honestly come out in the media, and my mother ain't never say, hey, I saw on a blog. They just don't do that. My family not caught up in the little Mo life. As long as Cynthia's okay at the end of the day, that's all they worried about, because they knew, well, this person ain't gonna last long. My dad was like, look, I'm not gonna just keep on befriending people and stuff like this just because, like, those are your people. I don't have to be their friends.
I don't blame her. She'd be like, no.
Yeah. And it's just like my kids, they don't be tripping, because half the time my daughter got it, she'll be like, I don't want to go around that person. She don't care. My kids, like, if you would see it, that's why a lot of people didn't really know half the stuff that was going on, because it wasn't done in the public. It was always behind closed doors. And there were certain things that would be out in public, and I'd just be like, now you wilding. Because it's one thing to go through abusive situations and you know, do things in silence or in private, but once you start bringing that to the open, now you really bugging the fuck out. Like now you really tripping. Now you really asking for it to be up. But I realize certain things shouldn't. Whenever somebody Googles my name, the same thing should be, oh Lord, here she go again. She about to get, like, no, that's not what my legacy is about. So I had to change my own narrative, and I honestly want better for myself, because I think the best years of my life I haven't even lived yet. Like I'm literally, you know, I'm part of the 4.0 club, but I feel like I'm timeless and I'm priceless, for the simple fact that I don't sound and I don't look all old, and I don't look like what I've been through. So it's just like, why stop now? Keep going, sis. Keep going, sis. Don't let nothing stop your go or your glow. Nothing.
But what about you? Was a person that protected everybody, went up for everybody, but not for Mo. Like, what made you protect other people more than yourself?
I think that's the way I was raised. I've seen my dad being a pastor, and I've seen my mom, you know, save people from losing their homes, helping people get cars, helping people get out of abusive relationships. Like, people used to come stay with us or live with us. A lot of my cousins were raised with us. I saw a lot of sheltering, nurturing, and help. But then if they needed something, everybody was so busy or booked, and you know, I can't really name anybody who really helped. So honestly, that's why I was like, I gotta be Little Mo, because I want to make sure that my parents is always good. But my parents aren't those type of people that rely on Little Mo to take care of them. Like, they good.
Yeah.
That's how their life is structured, and that's how they raised us, to be independent. And to be self-sufficient, and just to always trust God. So it's just like, I always saw my dad, like, I've literally seen my dad do stuff for people, and then he'll ask them, hey, so can you just come to this, and next thing you know, they would quit the church, and I'd be like, okay, good luck with that, period.
Wow. So you saw that there wasn't a reciprocal thing going on when you growing up.
But when you really want to be blessed, you really don't look for anything in return. You give from your heart, because if you give looking to get something in return, or you give like with a grudge, don't give. Because that, like, it's better to not give at all if you're going to give with a grudge, or like, well, when I'm going to get this back? So if I do this, what's in it for me? That's why I'm still blessed to this day. Because even when I've done things and I had nothing, like, I wouldn't take money out the equation, because this industry, I had millions of dollars in the bank before I was 21. Take that out the equation. Put in the part where you're singing at everyone's events, you're showing up for everybody, you're featuring on everybody else's stuff, and then when you call to be like, hey, can I get an ad lib? All of a sudden they're not available, but you see them at everything else. You say, okay, but I don't get mad at that. I say, God, I see you working. I don't need them. I need you. That's it.
So what is filling Lil Mo's cup up first look like in this new chapter?
It looks like, honestly, the filling up of my own cup is just like, start putting yourself first in everything. One thing about me is I'll be like, okay, if I get invited to something, who else can I take with me? Because I always be thinking, no.
One fits everywhere, Mo.
Yeah.
One fits everywhere.
It's like, period. Even when it would carry on, stop taking so much. You can't check the other bags.
Yes. And I'm sure for 20 plus years, you've been so consistent with that. Sometimes people waiting for the ask before you ask.
Yeah. And trust me, it happens to this day. But at the same time, I've realized the word no, I used to didn't say it, but I'm using it very effectively, because I realized that a lot of people use you when they see you glowing. Or when they see, oh, it looked like the light's about to be on over there. So now I'm gonna get with sis. Nah, sis been rocking. Sis just had to make some different moves. It's a whole different world out here. Outside ain't even all the way open back up. But when it do, it's gonna be a whole different world. And if I was doing the same thing that I was before this pandemic or before music and everything started to change, I wouldn't survive. Because it is more to it than just being able to sing. You got to be able to give them the drip. You got to be able to drop knowledge. You got to be able to make people believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself more. And then you got to want it more than anybody wants to give it to you. And this is because people are like, well, what do you mean? Because put it like this. You could say, well, this is how much I want it for a show. Then the people going to say, well, what makes you think you deserve that? What?
Exactly.
Okay, period. Somebody getting paid.
Right.
So you gotta work so people don't even have to ask. Real people with money don't even ask how much you charge. Be like, this is what it is, and they be like, send the deposit info.
Yep.
That's it. That's how you learn how to decipher. And like I said, it's not about the money, but it's a respect level that you always have to maintain with people, because these people in the industry will try it.
Yeah.
They'll try it.
And that's what I want to ask too. Like, what do you think, what do you credit with your staying power? Because this is an industry that you're in that people would literally, chew you up and spit you back out. And here you are still glowing with a brand new chapter that you open and saying that, hey, I sound better than I did when I first came in. So what do you credit? What do you credit that to? My
changing the narrative, because the old me would have said, well, I sound better than everybody that's coming out. Nobody cares. This is your only competition is yourself. I sound better than when I came out before. Nobody should be in nobody else's lane. Like we talking right now, nobody's, even if people ask the same question a different way, nobody's going to get the same response or respect or tone that I'm giving with you, unless we all on the four screen and then they're listening in. You feel me? So different people, different ways, you're going to get a different response. It's still coming from Mo, but at the same time, I've changed the way that I respond. I've changed my tonality. I've added more empathy, because I realized that I am originally from New York. I done lived in Texas. I done lived in Atlanta. I done lived in North Philly, and I've done lived in Baltimore, period. So I know how to be aggressive, but sometimes aggressiveness, it scares the consumer. You don't always have to be the loudest one in the room because they think you're the weakest. But one thing about me, I ain't never been weak. I've always been the realest, no matter what. Even when I'm wrong, I admit that. And when I'm right, I'm going to let you know double louder than when I was wrong, period.
Exactly.
So it's just like with that, it's just like you just got to know where you stand with yourself. You ain't got, people be like, I ain't worried about what people think about me. Yes, the hell you is, or else you wouldn't have said that.
Yep.
So I'm a person, I really don't care, because I know what I think about me. I know what I know about me, and I know who I am. So if somebody got something to say, I didn't hear it. I don't let anything negative permeate my spirit anymore. So if somebody bring me some tea, please go put it back in that kettle, because I know, like, I've been a tea pourer and I've had tea poured on me.
Yeah.
Come on. Did y'all
hear the AP word permeate? She said, come on now.
They ain't ready for the big words. They ain't ready for the big words.
They ain't ready for the AP
but people,
words.
like, you just gotta know the game. This game it's a very vicious game. People you use you up and they'll chew you up and spit you out. But you know what I'm saying? A lot of people know, don't play with me. It's almost like don't even call Mo, or don't even say anything, because she do, like, no matter how, even if I'm sitting here bowing and and humbly kneeling before the throne, if you see me kneeling, that's a sign of submission to God. That ain't because I'm bowing down. I'm to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned to humbly submit myself and realize, if you want respect, you got to give it first. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. So that's why I've changed my whole rhetoric and my way of thinking, for the simple fact that I won't say, well, what the fuck she got on? Because there was times when somebody asked me, what the fuck she got on? Who is you? Like, some stuff don't even need to make it to the public, because then you don't want to be known as a hater, or you don't want your legacy to be tarnished from your unwarranted opinion.
Right.
If somebody don't ask, it don't even volunteer the information. So if the question, that's why I see it a lot of times, and I'm like, well, I know people give you a hard way to go. They be like, well, somebody asked a question, but there's a way you can say, people will ask some messy questions, like, you know what? I don't mean to sound ridiculous, but I've never seen this man a day in my life. If he walk down the street, I don't even recognize him. Sorry to this man.
Yes.
You just gotta hit them with. You just gotta hit them with that.
Yes.
With the Keke Palmer, like I don't mean to sound ridiculous, but I don't know who sis is. Never met her a day in my life.
I love it.
I wish her well. I hope you know what I'm saying. I don't have to be like, well, that bitch don't sing better than me. And did you see her hair? Like her baby hair's what she ain't go to tank. I thought that bitch had a coin. No, right. Those things like that spirit can no longer abide or dwell in this temple. So now it's like, damn, I don't know. Because I was going through things and I was trying to hide it behind lashes and stuff. But now the glow, you can see in these eyes, that glow litty. But I would be trying to hide things. But I could look at people and I'd be like, dang, she look good, but sis going through something. I'm not going to say nothing. And I see the attack, but I hope she pushed through. Because we was in a pandemic. Mental health, crisis. Yes. My daughter studies psych in college. Psych major. 65%. The numbers are through the roof. With Black people in suicide, depression, anxiety. So when you're sitting there talking crazy about people and they're looking for acceptance or grace, give that. Just a measure. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna get him a pass. Grace is sufficient. Yeah, it'll make you last longer. You up here preaching. Expiration date and there's a grace period. I want a grace period.
You preaching. You about to fall behind your daddy. You about to know because people are always fall behind your daddy. You about to, where the Bible at in the temple? Yeah.
You know me. No, because you get to that point where you just like, you know what? Once you're grown, you have to act accordingly. Other than that, like, I don't want my children to have to suffer for my sins or for me saying something that was out of context or taken at a, taken wrong. And then next, my son tries to come out as an artist and he has to fight his way every night to prove his love. Like I saw what Quencie Ray said. And that's why I'm just like, I'm glad sis is doing her thing because people don't understand that it's not just about me. I have generations. I have a whole generation coming after me that wants to make it so be like, oh, well, we don't want to interview him. We're not going to add his record because his mother used to act a fool up here. I saw what Quencie Ray said. She said a lot of people might have turned me away because of things my dad might have said or did. And I'm glad they got to mend that relationship because we saw it play out in the public. And it's just like, damn, y'all give her a chance. She trying. It's some bitches out here that's not even trying. Like sis is trying. Make it happen because we losing a lot of people. Like give people a chance. That's all. That's all anybody asks for a chance. Now, when they start acting a fool, that's when we could be like, you know what?
Right.
But grace, and then once you give him grace, you ask God for mercy, and once He extends mercy, then after that, wash your hands.
Yeah. Well, I want to know because you brought up the pandemic, and I know that you have put your kids and you in therapy in the beginning of the pandemic. Tell me why that was so important. Like when you realized that, hey, prayer is good, but I need somebody with some skills who can help, who went to school to teach me how to deal with these issues in a positive way that's going to make my life and my kids' life better, especially when we all closed in.
Growing up, and let's just be real, I'm be the realest and rawest ever. Growing up in Black household, people like, Black people don't do that. Black people don't commit suicide. Black people, we need to go get so-and-so looked at. Or we dust everything under the rug. So once things used to be chic, or no, now things are chic, so it's cool to go get therapy, but it's just like there was a time it was taboo, like, well, let's just pray about it. Everybody used to try to pray about it, but no, then them issues still be there because people don't want to let some of their demons go. They would rather fight them than let them flee, huh?
Yes.
But the whole fact of the matter was like when you realize that my children are literally trained and have been groomed around the music industry, so they know that mom is always here for us, but mom don't always, she'll be on the road, or I might have to go on tour, I might have to go do a play, or I might have to go do radio, or I might have to travel. So it was just like the fact that I knew that we were gonna all be locked in at a time, that I was coming out of a very toxic relationship, which I didn't know how it mentally affected them, because imagine going from being able to run around outside, riding your bikes, traveling, to you can't go outside the house. And we all on punishment. And that's where you'll really find out who your family is. And when you send your kid, when they had to start virtual schooling, my son don't be cutting up. No, my son be cutting up. Because I see all of them cutting up. I'm like, get on your laptop.
You're a teacher too. So teacher.
I knew that dynamic from what was normal to them was going to be changed. And so I had spoke to their physician, their pediatrician, and I asked, I was like, I think I want to get them, you know, I just want to make sure that there was nothing from my past that affected them. And I don't want them, because, you know, our whole life changed. We moved back from Philly back to Maryland. And then, you know, we wanted to move again, but then the pandemic house, like, I was afraid to take my kids down south with a lot of land and stuff like that, because I was like, dang, I don't want to be away from my family. And nobody knew when we would be able to, you know, get back and forth. Nobody knew. So I was like, the best way to handle this is to have therapy, so we can see how we can coexist with each other. Because you can live in the same house, but a lot of people really don't know how to, like, you just come and go and you don't realize, like, Dad, I didn't know that hurt your feelings. I didn't know that you was this crazy. I didn't know that you eat late in the midnight hour. I didn't know your feet stink that bad. You figure that kind of stuff out. But those are really key things. Like, that might be like, my sons used to be going to war with each other, like, because he's looking at me. He's looking at you. Yeah. He's looking at you. But I realized they wasn't used to him looking at him every day. So you get some therapy. You know, just to make sure, just to have that balance, and so they won't ever say, well, my mom didn't, you know what I'm saying? You know, and me being a single mom, I think that helps too, so they can know, and that later on in life, growing up, they won't ever say, was it the reason why my mom didn't stay with my dad? It's not because of you. Yeah. And I want them to know that, because coming from me, I can give it to them from a place of love, but a therapist, they got an objective person. Yeah, they can let them know that if you ever have feelings of inadequacy, or you feel down, or you feel a type of way, like, this is a neutral party you could speak to, and you can, you know, tell them the truth. Man, I love that. A lot of times people won't tell you. I love that. I love Lil Mo, like that. I salute you. Like, you know, I Jennifer Lewis is one of my favorites, and she be doing mental health. She talks about mental health, and to hear you echoing that, like, that's what's up. But that's real, and I'm glad that a lot of people are speaking up and out against, you know, about just depression, anxiety, a lot of things that, like I said, used to be dusted under the rug, or now just be like, yo, like, I don't think nobody should stay in that place. That's a painful place. It is. Know, when you're unsure of yourself, when you're unsure of your worth, when you're unsure of your next move. And sometimes you would, honestly, if you look at some of my DMs, like, I don't even check them no more, because I was like, I get overwhelmed, because I know that feeling, but I can't imagine how people could feel when you just, I just need somebody to talk to. Yeah. But then you need somebody to talk to you, but you don't know who to trust, because you could be telling somebody something. They could be telling somebody, yeah, child, she has said. You feel me? Yeah. So it's just, so that's like, why I think therapy is so important, like, to have that objective person. And I salute you. Like, I mean, what do you think is the lesson that's taken you the longest to learn? Who I am. And now that I know, and knowing is half the battle, it's up. Yeah. Yeah. So what does it feel to be on the other side of the toxicity, on the other side? On the other side of war? Of war, addiction, bad place, confusion, you know, just it feels good, because honestly, like like, when you think of those things, from war to addiction to abuse to mental health, from depression, anxiety, PTSD, molestation, like, things that I've suffered and dealt with, and I was holding on to and didn't realize that I was hurting myself more, you know, than anything. Yeah. But I was thinking, if I was help everybody, that would help me. No, you got to take care of yourself. And once you realize who you are, it's like nobody can take that away from you. Once you get your power back and your glow back, it's just like this sense of, like, I don't know, it just gives you a new, it feels like you came out of the pit. I don't never want to know what hell feels like, but I know what the bottom felt like, and I never want to get comfortable there. That's not where, but I know that the bottom in the trenches have made more champions than privilege ever has. Of course. It's like, even though I've grown up in a great family, I realized that I still had to work for mine. I still got to fight for mine, and I have responsibilities and priorities. So I had to put those things first. But I can't handle those things if I'm not right. So they'll be cute and taken care of, but it still won't be right. Then I'll be getting a whole generation of kids that'll be running around the world. Y'all be like, those little Mo kids, like, dang, what happened to them? No, we ain't going out like that. And also just the happiness within Lil Mo.
you know,
Yeah.
within Cynthia. Like, you know, you can't, it's hard to give to your kids if you ain't whole. You know what I mean?
That's a fact right there. And that's one thing that I always wanted to, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to get myself together for myself, because you gotta
For
want it.
yourself.
And then my kids, they can reap the benefits and they can really be proud of me. And it's
Yeah.
just like, you know, it didn't make no sense to come back as like a new, from a new beginning. That's why it's like the new album, the new single, the new,
Yeah.
like every like everything has to be new from here on out. So not saying that people are going to forget the past, but
No.
their perception of me, I have the power to change that, because I had the power to change myself.
Yeah, and you're doing it. But what I love is about how God using you is like he took you through that, but because you are not just, you know, a dope singer who's lasted the test of time, but you also like have transparency, like you tell your story, and I'm sure you've saved lives just with telling your story, just with
Thank you.
sharing,
I hope
just
so.
with sharing. Just no, I mean, I'm 21 years out here. Like you've always been transparent, even the times that you felt like you were hiding. You still was like one of the realest people out here. You know, you still was dropping gems, connecting with people, and all of that. So what I love about God is that He's not just healing people through your music. You healing people through interviews. You healing people through your testimony. You healing people
Thank
through
you.
your kids, like all of that, you know. And
That's the mission.
that's
That's the goal.
yeah. But it's gonna happen anyway. It's already
Somebody
predestined.
said resilient. That's the word right
Yes,
there. That's the word of the
that's
day.
you.
Resilient. You can't be
That's you.
resilient if you ain't never been through nothing. You'll never know how strong or resilient you are until you've been through the fire.
Yeah, and
You feel me?
you've been through the fire, and you jumped over, put
Diamonds
it
don't
out.
make themselves.
Exactly.
They
Crushed,
have to
baby.
go through pressure.
Yes.
You feel
Yes.
me?
I do. And you didn't went through the fire. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. I done been
Yeah.
through it all. That's why I'm just like, I be telling everybody the comments is going up. I just see the thing, but I'm like, dang, it's like a receipt.
What they say about
Everybody just going up.
how
That's
much
why I'm
they
like, I
love you.
appreciate all the love and like the reception that we've gotten from the single Broken Heart. Even from, I would say from my celebrity, people like, yo, this the Mo. I miss this Mo. And I'm like, was she back?
It's so
She
beautiful
back.
because like you said, people know that you can they know that you can Clark sister that thing, that Pace sister that thing. But
Yeah.
it's just like I said, I felt
But
like I
it's
could
all,
sing
it
with
gives them
you.
a vibe. It's a vibe.
Yes. I love
It's a
it.
vibe.
How long did it take you to write that and record? I know you recorded on your birthday, released it on your daughter's birthday, so it's a song you ain't gonna ever forget.
Yeah.
But how long did it take to come together, be written, recorded?
My manager Wu wrote the record.
Wow.
So he probably wrote it that day, because he'll be like, book the studio. Tell Nige, he said be there at we'll go to the studio. Well, that's when the pandemic was still. So it was like on my birthday, we'll go from like 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock or 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock. It depends on, you know, we always go in the morning, drop the kids off at school. He'll meet me at the studio and be like, all right, this is what we doing today. Like, well, Dad, do I get a rehearsal? No, you should have been practicing your art. So it's just like, dang. So he'll go in there and, you know, just be like, this is the way it go. Now go in there and, you know, just sing it how you feeling. And you ain't got to do all that. My son was there too. Justin was there. He's like, Ma, you ain't got to be singing all over the place.
That's the one who, you said all your kids can sing, but that's the one who wants to be
Justin is the one that sings. So he was the one that, Ma, you ain't got to be singing all over the place. Nobody don't want to hear all that. So I was just like, you know what? Give them straight tone. Be like, yo, one thing about you, Mo, is that you can really sing. So just sing. And
everybody knows it.
Yep.
Everybody knows it. That's
so
not
make
something
sure make sure everybody run that up tonight. Like the reception that we've got from it so far, I'm just like, thanks. Like I'm hyped.
But did you feel it in the studio? Did you feel it?
You know what? When I be recording, I don't be liking the way I sing. I'll be like, I don't want to I don't be wanting to hear it until I'll get on the road and then we'll be like, check your email. And I'll be like, okay. And I'll be hyped up. He'll be like, because you're going to be hyped up. And so then I'll listen to it in the car. And I'll be like, wow, I like the way I sound on this. Wow.
Yeah.
I like the way I did that right there. Like, I don't be liking to hear myself, but honestly, the direction we're going now, I like the way I sound. I like the way we're going.
That's when I interviewed Michael Walden. He said the best singers. They like to hear themselves. They know when they sound good. He said Whitney, Aretha. They like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Because chances are, like, I'm not gonna want to go in and do it again. So I like to get it right the first time. So that's why usually, people, they could go in the studio every day. I'd be like, nah, that I'll start doing the same ad libs and making myself upset and stuff like that. So that's why, like, even with the next single and we already got 7 songs lined up. So if y'all think this song, wait till y'all hear
Savage Heart. When is that?
Yeah.
Like, are you just gonna keep dropping singles, or are you gonna drop the whole?
Yes, it's a whole movement. So Broken Heart is the segue to Savage Heart. But when I say, like, because I'm so glad that the industry is basically wide open and that I'm independent, the Faculty Music Group, you know what I'm saying? We running it up. The summer is wide open. The world is slowly but surely opening back up. So I have the chance to really get out there. I really didn't want to put no music out last year because it's like, I like to get out and touch the people so I could be like, you feel me? You feel me? I want them to feel it. So now that I can share my testimony and now that I can share, a new side of me, why not come bearing gifts and the gift of song? Here, I have something for you. Because people don't want you to come in there empty-handed. So here, I have songs
but you
for
coming
you.
You coming with the fire though. You coming with the 2021 fire. Like,
it's a new glow, it's a new Mo. It's
like a new sound too. Like, it's kind of like a new sound for Mo as well. Like, I was just like, what? I got it on repeat. So listen, I had a bunch of questions, but we basically done covered them all through all my questions. And I have the Studio Q lightning round for Mo. Okay. All right. So, early mornings or late nights?
For what?
For anything.
All day. No, honestly, early mornings, because I have a bedtime. I take my melatonin. Everybody know when I say I got my melly, they be like, just leave her alone. Because I be like, I'll wake up this the next day. So early mornings.
Okay. If there was a versus called The Little Mo Show, what 3 artists would be on with you and what songs would you sing? 3, you only get 3 though.
Okay. Wait, what do you mean?
Like, okay, you know how they got the verses and they go against each other, right? But your verses is gonna be like D'Angelo and Friends, the Lil Mo Show.
Okay, I want to be sure. Okay.
And so you what 3 people gotta be on there?
Missy, my son Justin, because I would use that platform to push him. And honestly, who else? Let me think. Like, because I be so animated and Fab.
Yeah.
Because we got classes. But I was like thinking, did I have to? Oh, hey, Clint Sparks on it. He said my skin is so flawless. Child was at the NBA, the motor vehicles, the beat to the guns under my
you
mask.
kept it
like,
together.
Take your mask off. But it was like it would have to be more than 3 people because
I know, but I just wanted to narrow
that's why I was
down.
like, I was trying to think like, can I bring Bruno Mars out because
it's your verse.
Can Rod Wave just come slide? Is it like somebody I can invite? But I get it.
Yeah, I just wanted to know who be the top 3 that you would have out the gate that Lil Mo would say got to be there to celebrate Lil Mo Show. Like, so that's a good 3. That's a good 3. Okay, Lil Kim or Moni Love?
Like, now that's 2 different.
I found out that Lil Mo came from Lil and Mo. Like, she loved Moni Love and she loved Lil Kim.
Yeah. My uncle used to call me Moni. And plus my last name is Loving. So, but honestly, I love Moni. I love what she did with Moni in the middle. But Little Kim is a freaking icon. Yeah. It's like that.
I know. But because you came up with your name like that, I had
Got you.
Well, I would like to thank you all for joining my interview with Lil Mo. somewhere we got paused and Lil Mo never came back because of whatever. But we had already spoken for 90 minutes. So I'm truly grateful to have talked to her, and truly grateful that you guys showed up to watch the interview. So thank you guys, and I'll see you the next interview. All right.